Hello, Happy New Year to all my colleagues, school and district leaders around the state of Arkansas. I'm really excited today to talk to you about some work that we're doing at the Department of Education that we want to roll out to the whole state. A year ago, we got approval for our Arkansas ESSA plan. And part of that plan really shifted how we as the department work with our districts. Under our ESSA plan, we're working directly with districts, trying to build support, build capacity at the district level. We know, and our ESSA plan stated clearly, that all of our schools need to engage in a continuous cycle of inquiry where we are working together as a State Department, as local districts, as school boards, as local communities, to really see how we can move from that notion of adequacy to excellence. Over the last year, we have looked to see how, as a department, we can change our systems, how we can get better internally in supporting the work that's going on in our schools and our districts around the state. And we have found something that is not new, but we believe it's something that will really help us move things along, and that's the notion of high reliability schools. The effective schools research has been around for a long time. We want to take that effective schools research, we want to take the evidence that we know will help us move Arkansas from that conversation of adequacy to one of excellence, one of continuous improvement for all schools and all districts in the state. We're going to be having a statewide book study, if you will, and the way we're going to bring everyone together is through Twitter chats. So there will be 4 Twitter chats through the rest of the month of January and February, and go to the ADE website to get more information about that schedule. And the way that you'll be able to keep track of that is through, of course, a hashtag. Hashtag HRS4AR. We have a special guest that is going to be speaking for the next few minutes. I want to introduce to you Dr. Robert Marzano with Marzano Laboratories. He is one of the preeminent researchers in the field of education, and he has brought together this work as one of the co-authors of this book, Leading High Reliability Schools, that we're going to be working through over the next few weeks. Here's Dr. Robert Marzano.
Hello Arkansas educators, my name is Bob Marzano, and this brief video is an introduction to the Arkansas State Initiative entitled One State, One Book. And we're very excited at Marzano Research that you've selected a book that we've written. It's entitled Leading a High Reliability School. And so you'll be getting this book very, very soon. Let me give you a brief history of the book. More importantly, the model that's within the book. It's really a synthesis of the research that goes all the way back to the 1980s during the school effectiveness movement. In 2003, there was a book written entitled What Works in School, which synthesized the research from the 80s up to 2000. We've then added to that to create this overarching model. And when you get the book, if you want to read the citations, they're all there for you. Let me give you a feel for the model itself. We have 5 levels, and these are going to be very familiar, at least some of them will. Level 1 is a safe, supportive, and collaborative culture. And we call that level 1 because that's foundational work that you have to have in place if you're going to build on that and have other powerful and probably more complex initiatives. Level 2, effective teaching in every classroom. That's obvious. Level 3, guaranteed and viable curriculum. Again, all familiar terms to you. Now, those first 3 levels you do all the time. That's your day-to-day business. So don't think that you do level 1 and forget about level 2 and 3. The last 2 levels, oh, that's the rarefied atmosphere. It really is. You don't have to go to these levels. They really represent substantial school change. Level 4 is standards reference reporting, and level 5 is competency-based education. Now, for this initiative, we're going to focus on level 1 only, since that is so foundational. We're going to provide the opportunity for you to use surveys that we've created for level 1, and those surveys are extensive, and they can be given to teachers, administrators, students, and even parents and community. And we'll analyze the data for you and give you the results back. And what you're going to find is a lot to celebrate there, but you also might find some specific areas that you might want to look at, and areas you say, boy, if we're going to work on a particular initiative, you know, this is the initiative to work on right here. So level 1 has what we call 8 leading indicators, things that we should be doing if we're trying to create a safe, supportive, and collaborative environment, a collaborative culture. Let's take a look at those. As you see, we've numbered them, 1.1, 1.2, that stands for the level, and that's all we're going to focus on right now. I'm not going to go over all of those, but if you look at it, you'll see some familiar patterns there. It's talking about input from teachers and community and parents. It's talking about chances for decisions to be made, just not by leadership within a school, but by, important constituent components. Again, a lot of familiar stuff, some, nitty-gritty things too. Looking at how well fiscal resources and other resources are being used for the advancement of the school. A question you might ask, and it's a good question, is, well, what can we do with this? What's the purpose? Well, one of the purposes, given this a statewide initiative, is to create a common culture, a common vocabulary, I should say, and a culture, if you will, that everybody in the state, has uses together. So now you could talk to any school in the state about how they're doing on level 1. What are their plans for level 1? What are their strengths and what are their weaknesses? Now, in my 51 years of K-12 education, I've only seen this happen a handful of times, where a state adopted one way of looking at things. And it's the power of the common vocabulary, I think, that really has the potential of creating things that you can't create if every school, does its own thing and uses its own model. So that in and of itself, I think you'll find very, very powerful. So again, we're very, very excited about this. Again, I haven't seen this happened very many times in my 5 decades of K-12 education, and I think there's some incredible potential here. At the end of the cycle, I think you're going to find that you've found a lot of things to celebrate in your school. I think you're going to probably find a lot of things that you want to get better at, and the means to get better at that. You'll also have the metrics that tell you where you are, and what it will look like if you get better. So this initiative, I believe, can increase the already great results that are occurring in Arkansas schools.
The Arkansas Department of Education is also going to provide surveys. The surveys that we'll be providing to you are that first level of work in the High Reliability Schools initiative. And it's going to be about safe and collaborative culture. As you may have read in the governor's report on the School Safety Commission, we talked about providing surveys to districts. This is that first step. It'll be available on February 5th and can be accessed by you at no charge. You will receive results from that survey in March. And at that point, you'll be able to use those results, because they will be specific to your schools, your district, to be able to determine what work needs to take place next. We are excited about this support that we are providing to our schools and our districts around the state, and we're excited about the conversations that this is going to generate. We believe that this is the right work at the right time. We look forward to being on this journey with you and providing this support for you.